Hey there, my name is Matt Smethurst. I have written a book titled Deacons, How They Serve and Strengthen the Church, the final installment in Crossway and 9 Marks' Building Healthy Churches series. And the reason that this book needed to be written and the reason why I feel honored to have gotten to do it is because it's a topic that virtually every church has to think about at some point. I mean, when you hear the word deacons, I wonder what comes to mind. For some of you, it may be nostalgia, and you may think of your childhood church. For others of you, it may be a beautiful word. You may have specific faces that flood to mind of servants of Christ laboring for the good of the church. But for others of you, surely, deacons is a painful word. How often have those called to be the church's most exemplary servants actually hindered and harmed the very work of the church? So what I'm trying to do in this book is to clear away common misconceptions, to clear away confusion about this biblical office, and to go back to Scripture to figure out what is the Bible's job description for deacons. I'm convinced that deacons are difference makers in the life of the church, and that getting the office of deacon wrong is not a minor thing, because it will easily half the ministry of your church, whereas getting it right will double the ministry of your church. Deacons are a gift from King Jesus to his church to serve and support the ministry of the elders, to protect and promote church unity, and to meet tangible needs for the glory of Christ and the good of those for whom he has died. So what I'm trying to do in this book, in a very practical and accessible way, is to look at first the backstory and the blunders. So how deacons have functioned through 2,000 years of church history. But then also to look at the biblical blueprint in the story of Acts chapter 6 and the lessons we can draw from that account. Followed by the baselines, that is what a deacon must be according to Paul's qualifications in 1 Timothy 3. And then we look at the breakdown, what deacons must do. And that is where the most kind of heavy lifting goes on in the book, thinking about the general job description of deacons in different ways that can play out in the life of churches. And then the beauty, what deacons provide. I wanted to kind of take this discussion from what might be like looking at an old VHS tape and put it into HD. So in chapter 5, I shut up and I just let 20 pastors from around the world share stories about how deacons have been difference makers in their congregations. And then finally, the beauty, who deacons reflect, ultimately King Jesus. So that's a bit of an overview of what I'm attempting to accomplish in this book, and I pray that it serves you in your church.